Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Heron and I will be analyzing a single leg, left leg jump in regards to work, power, and energy. First, let's define work, power, and energy. In a mechanical context, work, as stated by Hall, is defined as a force applied against a resistance multiplied by the displacement of the resistance in the direction of the force. Power is defined as the rate of work production, calculated as work divided by the time during which the work was done. Energy is known as the capacity to do work, and mechanical energy is the capacity to do mechanical work. There are many different kinds of energy, but for this presentation we're going to focus on kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy is energy of motion. Potential energy is energy by virtue of a body's position or configuration, calculated as the product of weight and height. Weight and height greatly affect the impact of forces on the body. As mentioned in the Part 3 video, too much force going to the wrong place at the wrong time can lead to injury. Let's watch the movement in full. In a single leg, left leg jump, there are several places where improper technique can lead to injury. So let's review our phases. We have the starting position, wind back, propulsion, extension in the air, and landing. In the wind back phase, this one here, energy can easily be wasted. Too much power or too little power can disrupt the flow of the movement. If you exert too much power on the wind back, the movement will cease to be a wind back at all and become more of a jerking or yanking motion. Jerking backwards not only strains the hip and knee extensors, but also will force the leg to straighten out. Both can lead to injury, and it misuses the mechanical energy that's being generated. Jerking or yanking on the joints and the muscles disrupts the velocity and also disrupts the momentum of the movement. It also hurts. One jump with poor technique may not be enough to lead to injury if you're lucky. However, if repetitive jumping with poor technique will lead to sore muscles or worse. On the other hand, not using enough power when winding back will disrupt velocity as well in a different way. As discussed in previous videos, you need power to get off the ground. If you don't gain enough power when winding back, that kinetic energy must come from somewhere. Chances are you will compensate by using more power in the propulsion phase here. Even though you need power in the propulsion phase as well, the body has less time to generate that force because the body is straightening out, as you can see, as you start heading upward. Attempting to generate more force at a compromised angle here in the hips and here in the knee can lead to strained hip and knee extensor muscles, and that's because the potential energy is less when the body is more straight, as opposed to winding back to get that maximum potential of force. To successfully complete this movement, it's important to keep a quick but controlled pace throughout to maximize the use of kinetic energy as well as potential energy that's being generated. In addition to poor technique, muscle fatigue will also have a negative impact on force generated. This is because this type of single leg jump requires maximum or close to effort of your muscles. Dal Pupo et al. 2013 states that continuous vertical jumps are often used in lower limb power training or in assessing anaerobic performance. They found evidence that some compensatory neuromotor mechanisms are used to counterbalance the loss of force generating properties due to fatigue. These mechanisms involve the stretch shortening cycle, and that's exactly what it sounds like. It's when the muscle lengthens, which is an eccentric movement, then shortens immediately, which is a concentric movement. And this cycle will help conserve energy. Between the wind back and propulsion phases, energy is being generated, conserved, and then utilized. So let's look at the gif of this man jumping up and down on the box. This is an example of an exercise you might do for explosive power, and you might do many sets of this in a workout. What you'll see is that as his muscles fatigue, he'll jump not as high, maybe sometimes even mix the box, and he'll probably have to use his arms and excessive knee drive to compensate so that he can continue to complete that task successfully. Now, in regards to my movement, you can see fatigue in multiple places. You'll see it in my arms, in the wind back, and in the height of the jump. The height of the jump will be less, and I'll use my arms and legs a lot less to propel myself forward. So here, I would probably not lift my arms as much, maybe only to here. And then, as I start to move back, I may even be so tired that my leg only stops there, or maybe a little bit more like there. And then I'll try to shoot myself back up. However, as discussed earlier, that's not maximizing as much potential as being fully wound back as you see now and then shooting yourself up and into the air. That could lead to injury. Thank you guys.